Hello and welcome to Film Chat with IndieWire. I'm Chief Critic Eric Cohn, and I'm joined today by reporter Jude Dry to talk about The Red Turtle, My Life as a Zucchini, and why international animation is so important to the film scene right now. So Jude, one of the things that I think is really fascinating about animation is that most people know Pixar movies. And I love Pixar movies, most people do. It's just a very narrow representation of some of the experiences that are out there. And I want to start with My Life as a Zucchini because I think that it's a great example of a movie that is not your traditional American animated movie. It's a French film. It's actually a Swiss-produced film with a French screenwriter. But it's one of those movies that deals with certain darker themes. In this case, a kid who sort of accidentally winds up killing his parents and then dealing with the challenges of being in a foster home. Don't you think there's something fascinating about how dark this movie is, and yet it still somehow manages through the art of animation to invite in a broader audience?
Yeah, something I loved about this film is I think Europeans have always have more a flair for the dark and certainly treat children more like adults than American animated film does. So Zucchini, the lead character, I mean, he's very cute, right? He's this little stop motion guy. He's got blue hair and these big wide eyes. It's kind of like an Oliver Twist story. He's an orphan and he meets these children in basically a group home. And it is pretty dark, but what I really love about it is the way it doesn't talk down to its audience. And I think sometimes American films can sort of dumb things down for kids or think they need to fill it up with jokes. And what I really love about My Life as a Zucchini is this real human tragedy, really. It's about a child, but it's a children's story with a lot of depth.
I think you're hitting on something really accurate. I mean, there's something about the animation in My Life as Zucchini. It creates a sense that you're actually experiencing this world as a child sees it. You're sort of invested in the way in which this kid is experiencing a world that seems, on the one hand, bright and colorful, and on the other hand, it's sort of like the bright colors are burying something that's hidden about the adult world. There's something kind of mysterious and scary about that. And it's also something you find in The Red Turtle, which is a great hybrid of both Japanese and European animation styles. It's a wordless film of an island castaway who goes through this magical journey. And when you put it in those terms, it may as well be a Disney movie, and yet the magical journey he goes through is very abstract. It has to do with getting older, having a family, kind of dealing with one's relationship to the universe. It's very existential in a way. And yet, because there's no dialogue, you could be from any kind of different background, multiple different ages, different cultures, and kind of be able to access the emotional core of the film. Did you experience it that way?
Yes, and I almost experienced it like a graphic novel, especially with no dialogue. Just the way that these visual cues can really say so much more than any line of dialogue could ever do, and it feels like you're watching this sort of moving painting.
Right, or a storybook or something. With My Life as Zucchini, the simplicity has to do with the way the kid perceives the world. In The Red Turtle, the simplicity is really the movie itself. You know, you can describe it in a single log line, and yet there's just so many different ways to explore what the premise is. And it's so profound that log line will never do it justice. You have to just kind of sit down and experience it, which are the best kinds of movies. They defy easy description, and animation tends to be best suited for that kind of thing. So I hope people check it out. And speaking of which, don't miss The Red Turtle and My Life as a Zucchini, both available right now on demand. I'm Eric Cohn. See you next time.